Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Ahlan wa sahlan. My name is Liaquat. Welcome to this lesson of Mukhtasar al-Qudoori. Right, so if you guys are not familiar with my channel, check out the content that I make. If you guys like it, if you think, you know what, this is good stuff that he's making, then please subscribe, hit the like button, bell button, and watch this video as well. This series is about Mukhtasar al-Qudoori. Basically, we're covering Hanafi Fiqh, and we're going through questions over here. Alright, so these are some questions for you guys, and today we're going to be explaining the lesson, so you should be able to answer these questions. What is a fast? What is a wajib fast? Give an example. When is the last point that you can intend a qada fast? Can you make an intention for nafal in the morning at 9 a.m.? When should people go out to see the crescent? They don't see the crescent. They don't see the crescent. What do they do the next day? If a person alone sees the crescent in the sky, what does the judge do? Right, so some tricky questions. Maybe you know some of these answers, maybe you don't. Right, today inshallah we are going to be learning about this. So Sawm in the Arabic language means fast. Right, and Darban, it means two. Right, two types. And Yata'allaqu, it means attached. Ata'allaqa yata'allaqu from alaq, which means to be stuck to something. So attach. Bizamanin zaman, liaquat zaman, it means time. Bi'ainihi, it means specific. Ramadan, famous month, you guys all know it. Put in the comments if you know which month it is. Nadhar, it means a vow. Mu'ayyan, it means something specific, like bi'ainihi. Biniyatin, not bayina. Biniyatin, it means, see, this is a mistake. It's actually biniyatin, right? So there's a noon missing over there. It's supposed to be biniyatin, with an intention. Lam yanwi, it means to intend or not intend. Ajza'at, ajza'a, yujzi'u, ijza, it means to suffice. Yeah, to suffice. Niya, again, this is, I don't know why this is typos. Biniyatin is supposed to be. Oh, sorry. No, that's right. Bainahu wa bain al-zawali. Zawal, I think I need Specsavers. Thabata yathbutu, it means to become established. Dhimma, it means responsibility. Qadha, it means to make up missed fasts. Ramadan, you know that. Nadhar, again we did that. Mutlaq means unrestricted, unspecific. Kafarat is expiational fasts. Expiation. Right, Dhihar is basically a type of fast. I'm going to briefly explain to you guys, but there's a whole section in the Kitab al-Talaq on Zihar. It's a type of basically where a guy kind of says that to his wife that your back or your belly or your thigh looks like my mum's back or belly or thigh. That is considered to be something which is wrong. You're not supposed to do that. It's a disrespect to mother and to wife as well. So therefore, some sort of like a compensation has to be given, and that's the fasting that a person has to do, 60 consecutive days. So I won't explain it in today's lesson, but it's just know this. One nafal, right? Then that yaltamasa yaltamisu is to search for, to seek, to look for. Lamasa. Hilal means the crescent when the moon is like in its beginning stages. Tasi ishrun, 9 and 20, 29. Sha'ban, you know that. Samu, sama yasumu, to fast. Ghumma, ghamma yaghummu, to become clouded. Akmalu, akmala yukmilu ikmal, to complete. Sha'ban is the month. Iddat means period of time. Thalathina is 30. And wahdahu means alone. Qabila yaqbalu, it means to accept. Shahada, it means witness. And bisama illa, right, that means obstruction. Adal means upright. Imra'a, woman. Abd, slave. Sama illa means obstruction in the sky. And kathir means many. Yaqa'u, it means to occur. Ilm here means certainty. And khabar means report. Okay, so that's basically the words for today. Right, let's have a look at some basic tarkeeb of this then. Okay, let me know if you guys like the tarkib. I'd like to know, see you guys are watching, do you guys enjoy the tarkib more or the masail more? هذا كتاب الصوم. So هذا is مبتدا, كتاب الصوم مضاف مضاف إليه becomes the خبر. الصوم مبتدا, ضربان is the خبر, and that's why it's مرفوع. واجب, this is the بدل of ضربان, and نفل as well. فالواجب مبتدا, ضربان is the خبر, and that becomes the بدل. ضربان is the خبر. يتعلق is a فعل. بزمان is جار مجرور. بعينه جار مجرور. كصوم مضاف. رمضان. Now, why is Ramadan taking a single fatha here? Why is it basically غير منصرف? Right, why? So put it in the comments if you know. والنذر المعين فيجوز صومه فعل فاعل بنية. It's supposed to be نية with the noon, right? So correct that. من الليل. فإن لم ينوي نوى ينوي حتى أصبح. أجزأته is the فعل and نيته is the فاعل. Right. ما بينه وبين الزوال مضاف مضاف إليه becomes the ظرف. والضرب الثاني, so this is مبتدا. ما يثبت ثبت يثبت في الذمة جار مجرور كقضاء رمضان, again رمضان. نذر المطلق والكفارات, right, so it's عطف onto نذر or قضاء rather. فلا يجوز صومه في الفاعل إلا بنية من الليل. وكذلك صوم الظهار, صوم الظهار والنفل كله. okay. ويجوز بنية قبل الزوال. Oh, actually that's not supposed to be نفل كله, it's نفل كله. Let's change that. It's supposed to be والنفل كله مبتدأ. Yeah, my mistake there. Okay. ينبغي للناس أن يلتمسوا الهلال. هلال is مفعول به. في اليوم التاسع صفة موصوف. والعشرين من شعبان. شعبان same ruling as رمضان, single فتحة غير منصرف. فإن رأوه صاموا وإن غم. So this is مجهول. Okay, غم becomes obscured. عليهم أكملوا. أكملوا means that they complete. عدة شعبان مضاف مضاف إليه. 30 يوما is تمييز. ثم صاموا ومن رأى هلال رمضان, again مضاف مضاف إليه. وحده is حال. is حال. صام وإن لم يقبل الإمام استفاعل ويقبل. شهادته مفعول به. وإذا كان بالسماء إلة. إلة is the ism of كان. قبل يقبل. قابل الإمام فاعل. شهادة الواحد مضاف مضاف إليه صفة. في رؤية الهلال رجلا مفعول به, مفعول به خبر of كان مقدم. أو امرأة حرا كان أو عبدا خبر. فإن لم يكن بالسماء إلة لم تقبل شهادته حتى يراه جمع كثير يقع العلم بخبرهم. كثير جمع كثير صفة موصوف. يقع العلم is the fa'il. And there you have it. Alright, so let's have a go at the explanation of today's masala. Well, there's a few. Now this is a bit long. Let me know if you guys think that this is too long. If you think the video is too long and I'm covering too many lines and you want me to shorten it, right? Let me know, because I know then how to make the video. Alright, so first of all, the first masala is, what is fasting? So fasting is basically staying away from eating, drinking and sexual intercourse in the vagina from Fajr all the way up to Maghrib. Yeah, that's what fasting is. So let me say again: eating, drinking, sexual intercourse in the vagina from Fajr all the way up to Maghrib. Right, so the beginning of Fajr all the way to Maghrib. Now, fasts are divided into two categories. Either the fast is going to be necessary. So when he says wajib here, he means necessary, which could include fard as well. And nafal, optional fasts. So obligatory fasts are obligatory. There's two types. One is attached to time, right? Every year there's a certain time that comes, and one is not attached to time. So the one that's attached to time is like the fasting of Ramadan. Alright, so this is attached to Ramadan, fasting. Every year for 1 month, Muslims around the world have to fast. And number 2 is something called a specific vow. Now, what is a specific vow? Let me explain to you guys what a specific vow is. So first of all, you know what Ramadan is, yeah? Every year, 12 months in the year, there's 1 month where Muslims have to fast. And this month occurs between the month of Sha'ban and Shawwal. Right, so every year. Right, and then we have Eid after it. This is the famous month known as the month of Ramadan. Okay, and all Muslims, the Quran says, whoever witnesses this month has to fast. Man shahida minkum ash-shahra falyasum. Now, the other type is called a specific vow. So let's say there's a guy and he says this statement: if I pass my exam, I will fast on, and then he specifies a specific date. Tuesday, I don't know, the 14th of, it's a random date I'm making up, of let's say January. Tuesday the 14th of January, I am going to fast. So now, when Tuesday, if he passes the exam, when Tuesday the 14th of January comes, he will have to fast. Yeah, he'll have to fast on that day. This is called a specific vow. This is a vow because he attached the fasting to an action that he promised. Okay, so this is what we call an attached. This is called a specific vow. So he's got to fast that day now. So this is a necessary fast, and it's attached to a specific time in the year. Okay, so this is what we call a time wajib. Now, what about a no time wajib? So a no time wajib, meaning a wajib fast that's not attached to time, you can do it any time in the year, is number 1, qada of Ramadan. So if you've missed any fasts in Ramadan, you have to make them up. But you can do it any time in the year, any time. And number 2 is unspecified vow. So remember I told you about vows? Yeah. So the Ramadan one is basically like, in the whole year, you've got like 5 fasts to make up. You can make up those fasts any time in the year that you like, right? So there's no specific, there's obviously you have to fast between Fajr to Maghrib, but you can fast potentially any day in the year. Okay, so that's my example of these dotted lines. And an unspecified vow. So if I was to just copy this, just to make it easy for you guys, you utilize technology. And if I bring this over here, right, so if I pass, I will fast. If I say to someone, if I pass, I will fast 1 day. Any day, I'll fast 1 day. Now, because that's not specified, I can fast literally any day in the year. For that. So this is what we call a wajib fast, which is no time. Time and not time. So as-sawmu darban, fasting is of 2 types. A wajib and nafil. Wajib is that from that which is attached, يتعلق بزمان, with the time بعينه specifically, كصوم Ramadan, like Ramadan fast, والنذر المعين. فيجوز صومه بنية. Right, now let me explain this next masla to you guys now. So when it comes to making an intention for fasting, because fasting is an ibadah, Hanafi say you have to make an intention for that. So anything that's an ibadah like salat, zakat, hajj, fasting, you have to make an intention if you want to do it. However, when is the latest you can make the intention to fast? That's the question we want to ask. All right, so when is the latest that you can fast? So remember, fasts that are in the time in the year, and then there's fasts, and just color all this in, just to kind of make it nice and pretty so that you guys enjoy watching this. Tell me if you like the colors, if you enjoy me doing it in different colors, if it's something that helps you retain and remember what I teach. So let me just draw a line over here, trying to divide these two just to kind of show you the difference between the time ones and the non-time ones. So the rule basically is this, that any fast which is a time attached to a specific time in the year, then you can make the intention all the way from Fajr, all the way from Maghrib yesterday to Zawal time. Let me illustrate that for you guys. So imagine this is, for example, that's sunrise day and that's Maghrib day, sunset. And here's where Fajr starts. So obviously the fast has to start from Fajr. So you have to have you have to start your fast, stop eating and drinking and all that from Fajr. But when do you make the intention? So the intention can be made from all the way from, like we said, yesterday Maghrib, all the way till today Zawal time. Zawal means when the sun is in the highest part of the sky just before Zuhr. Yeah, so if I draw this over here, so look at this. This is a line. This is where Maghrib starts. Okay, Maghrib. So from yesterday Maghrib time, so the sun sets, I can make an intention. Yeah, from here all the way there and all the way up to there. Yeah, does that make sense? So basically, I can literally, as long as yesterday after Maghrib I made an intention, and let's say I went to sleep and I woke up the next day after Maghrib, that fast will be counted. Because I didn't eat, I didn't drink, I didn't have sexual intercourse all that time, and I made an intention to fast from Maghrib time. So I can make a fast from Maghrib time, after Isha, even after Fajr, all the way until Zawal, right? All the way up to Zawal. Yeah, as long as, let's say for example, I wake up in the morning and it's 9 o'clock in the morning or 10 o'clock, and I say, you know what, have I eaten? No. Have I drunk? No. Have I had sexual? No. Okay, I can fast. I can intend fasting like that. Literally, does that make sense? So the intention of fasting can be from night and it can be up to half the day. This is in this time. Okay, this is the time on the wajib that's attached to time. However, what if it's not attached to time, like qada fasts and vows that are ghair mu'ayyan, non-specific vows? So those ones, you can only make an intention from Maghrib up to Fajr. Yeah, so let me write this. Basically from Maghrib, where the blue is, Maghrib till Fajr, that's all. Yeah, only there. You can't make an intention after Fajr. So if you woke up after Fajr and you intended that I'm going to fast qada today, you can't do it. It won't be counted as qada. Yeah, simple as that. Right, very, very straightforward, very easy, inshallah. Hopefully it's going to make sense. Okay, so فَيَجُوزُ صَوْمُهُ, so its fasting is permitted بِنِيَّةٍ, with the intention, مِنَ اللَّيْلِ, from the night. فَإِنْ لَمْ يَنْوِي, if he does not make an intention from the night, حَتَّى أَصْبَحَ, until morning comes, أَجْزَأَتْهُ النِّيَّةُ, the niyyah will suffice, مَا بَيْنَهُ, between him, between his time, and between Zawal. Yeah, so this is what it means, from there to there. Yeah, that's it. So this is the first type. Second type is الضرب الثاني ما يتعلق, that which is attached in his dhimma, in his responsibility, like qada of Ramadan and nadhar al-mutlaq. Yeah, nadhar al-mutlaq, wal kafarat, and all the kafarats. Yeah, so over here all kafarats, yeah, kafarats as well. Number 3, kafarat. Yeah, those are the ones as well. You have to make an intention from before Fajr. You can't make intention from. فَلَا يَجُوزُ صَوْمُهُ. Kafara is basically like if you have committed some sort of a mistake in, let's say in Ramadan even. You made a mistake in Ramadan where you broke your fast intentionally, or in Hajj and Umrah. Then you have to give kafara, and you can do it through fasting. So those require the fast to be done before Fajr. So لا يجوز صومه, its fasting is not permitted إلا بنية, except with an intention, من الليل, from night time. Right? وكذلك صوم الظهار, likewise dhihar fasting. والنفل, no, okay, that's not altogether, that's a mistake. So this is supposed to be separate. Let me just draw a line here. Yeah, so that's كذلك صوم الظهار. So dhihar is that fast I was telling you guys about, or that act where a man says to his wife, your thigh or your belly or your back, the parts that he's not allowed to look at his mother, he says they resemble my mother's, then he has committed an act of dhihar. And the Quran says about these kind of people that he either has to free a slave, or he has to fast for 2 consecutive months. It's called fasting of dhihar. And if he can't do that, then he has to feed 60 people. So كذلك صوم الظهار. Now this is supposed to be وَالنَّفْلُ, not nafli. Naflu kulluhu. Change that. وَالنَّفْلُ kulluhu. And then nafl, all of it, is يجوز بنية, with an intention, بنية قبل الزوال, before zawal. So that's kafara, and that's the ones that are no time. So nafl basically fits under this one. You can put nafl in there. Although there's a separate section for nafl, but nafl comes under there in ruling, in the sense that you can make the intention all the way until zawal. So yesterday Maghrib all the way up to zawal, you can make the intention. And this is what the Prophet ﷺ, he used to do as well. Sometimes he would wake up in the morning, he he would ask, is there any food at home? And if they said no, he would say, okay, I'm fasting today. So that shows the permissibility of making this type of fast intention. وَالنَّفْلُ كُلُّهُ, and nafal, all of nafal, يَجُوزُ, is permitted, بِنِيَّةٍ, with an intention, قَبْلَ الزَّوَالِ, before zawal. Yeah. Okay, and that's it. Yeah, that's the first part of this done. So Ramadan, specified vows, and nafal vows, right, can all be made from that time. Okay, next. Now we're talking about how do you spot the moon now. So when it comes to spotting of the moon, one thing you have to understand is that the moon sighting, according to the Hanafis, it has to be done by sight. You have to witness it yourself. So you don't calculate it. So this is why this searching for the moon is something that is done in a lot of Muslim countries around the world. They still, even till today, they look for the moon. And because the sky is usually kind of easy to clear to see, it's easy for them. Yeah, and us living in the West is a bit difficult. Okay, so look at this. So imagine there's this guy. And this guy, he obviously wants to know about Ramadan, when Ramadan starts. So what he has to do is, just before Ramadan, in the month of Sha'ban, on the 29th of Sha'ban, the 30th night, right after Maghrib, on the 29th of Sha'ban after Maghrib, which is basically the 30th, he has to go and look for the moon. The moon basically shows, on this day, on this night, the moon shows whether the new month has started. So moon, if he sees the moon, it means the new month has started. If he doesn't see the moon, then it means the month hasn't started. Right, so if he sees the moon, then it's the 1st of Ramadan. If he doesn't see the moon, it's the 30th of Sha'ban. Yeah, that's basically it. So a lot of us are not familiar with how to spot the moon. Right, and you can get these really good apps. And I've got one on my phone that I use, and it can tell you exactly where the moon is at the moment. Right, so you can actually, you have this app. You move it around. Yeah, you move it around. And you can see where the moon is currently. So this guy, what he has to do is on the 29th, right after Maghrib, he has to go look outside, see if he can see. Now, he doesn't do it himself. Everyone does it. The whole public should do it. So if they see the moon, that means the next day is Ramadan. Yeah, Ramadan started, because the day, according to the lunar calendar, starts with the night. So the night's first and then the day. Alright, so they're all going to be looking for the moon. Is it a clear sky? On a clear sky, if they all see the moon, there you go. Right, they inform the judge, and then the judge passes a ruling, gives a message to the public that tomorrow is Ramadan, 1st of Ramadan. So ينبغي للناس, it's important for the people, and يلتمسوا, to search for the hilal, the crescent. On which day? في اليوم التاسع والعشرون, on the 29th of Sha'ban. Right? So that's the day. 29th of Sha'ban, that's where they're going to look. فَإِنْ رَأَوْهُ, if they do see the crescent. So remember, the moon goes through stages. Right? I should have drawn it over here, but the moon basically goes through stages. It gets bigger and bigger and bigger until it reaches the middle of the month, and then it starts to go smaller and smaller and smaller until it disappears. And then every month it starts like this. So some months are basically 29 days and some months are 30 days, right? Depending on when the moon appears and disappears, right? So this is why they have to search for the moon on the 29th or the 30th. So in ra'awhu, if they see it, samu, they all fast. Wa in ghumma alayhim, and if it becomes cloudy upon them, akmalu, they have to complete the period of Sha'ban, which is 30 days. Yeah, so that month is going to be 30 days. So if the sky is cloudy and the moon is there but they can't see it, they have to assume that it's not Ramadan, right? Even though the moon is there. So this is why sometimes there might be a mistake, but that's fine. It doesn't really matter. Thumma, so you see these guys over here. So these guys have seen the moon, that's fine. But if it gets cloudy, oh, you can't see, is that the moon? Is that not the moon? Right? Then they won't consider it to be Sha'ban, even though the moon might be there. But because it's cloudy, then Allah does not burden people to try and look above the clouds. Yeah, because nowadays we do have technology that can see above the clouds. And literally, if you go into space, you're always going to see the moon. Right? But that's not the point. The point is whether you can visibly see the moon from the ground. He says 30, right? So is it going to be 29 days month or is it going to be 30 days month? That all depends upon whether the moon is seen or not. ثُمَّ صَامُوا, and then they fast. وَمَنْ رَأَى هِلَالٍ. Okay, let's say a guy sees the moon on its own now. Yeah, so that's the first. So if there's a guy and this guy on his own has seen the moon. No one else saw it, and he just claims, I saw the moon, I was standing on my rooftop and I saw the moon, and everyone else says, but we didn't see it. Right? So what's going to happen in this case? So, Man ra'a hilal Ramadan, whoever sees the moon of Ramadan, wahdahu, on his own, sama, he fasts. وَإِن لَمْ يَقْبَلْ الْإِمَامِ شَهَادَتَهُ, even if the imam, the judge, imam means judge, the imam, the leader of the Muslims, doesn't accept his witness, because the judge is going to say, wait a minute, you saw it on your own, and, no one else saw it. That's a bit strange. So this is if the sky is a clear sky, okay, like we're going to mention in a bit. وَإِذَا كَانَ بِالسَّمَاءِ إِلَّةٌ, so this is the judge, he calls the judge and tells the judge that he's seen the moon. And if the judge says, sorry, I don't accept it from you, no, it's not the moon, right, you made a mistake, then he won't accept. But this guy has to fast because he's saw it. إِذَا كَانَ بِالسَّمَاءِ إِلَّةٌ, when there is an illa in the sky, there is an obstruction in the sky, قَبِلَ الْإِمَامِ, the imam will accept the witnessing of one, wahid, adal, upright, fi ru'yatil hilal, regarding the sighting of the moon. So if one is, the sky is cloudy, obviously most people are not going to see the moon, but maybe there's one guy who can see a break through the cloud and can just about make out the moon. The judge might accept his witnessing. Yeah, so whether this guy is a man or a woman, doesn't matter, or a free person or a slave, as long as they've seen it and they've reported it to the judge can accept it. Does that make sense? Okay, so this guy has seen the moon and he's, it's a cloudy day, no obstruction. Oh, sorry, there's no obscurity. Yeah, it's a clear sky. Yeah, then the judge is not going to accept. But if there is a clear, if there's an obscurity in the sky and he sees it, then potentially it might have been seen. The idea is about witnessing. Yeah, tells the judge says fine. Right, guys, everyone, let's call him Zaid. Zaid saw the moon yesterday. No one else saw it and the sky was cloudy. Right, it's true that he saw the moon. We accept it. فَإِن لَمْ يَكُنْ, okay, what if there is no illa in the sky? If the sky is clear. فَإِن لَمْ يَكُنْ بِالسَّمَاءِ إِلَّا, if there is no illa, means obscurity in the sky. لَمْ تُقْبَلْ شَهَادَتُهُ, his witnessing will not be accepted, because then that's strange. Something strange going on here. How comes he only sees it? لَمْ تُقْبَلْ شَهَادَتُهُ حَتَّى يَرَاهُ, until it's seen by a جَمْعٌ كَثِيرٌ, a large group of people. So a large population has to see it. يَقَعُ الْعِلْمِ, so many people, يَقَعُ الْعِلْمِ بِخَبَرِهِمْ, that knowledge occurs with their report. Knowledge occurs basically means that certainty comes to the judge. So the judge says, how many people saw the crescent? And like 1,000 people say, we all saw it. All right, I feel comfortable that piece of information is true. Khalas, tomorrow is Ramadan. And there you go. That's it, guys. Now, ideally, what you can do is you can actually search, you can look up, go Google, and you can find moon charts, where they made moon charts where the visibility on the earth can be seen now. Now, this visibility, this masala hasn't mentioned about if a person was to see if people were to see the moon in one country, can other people around the world follow their view? This is a different opinion between Abu Hanifa and between Sahibain. Okay, but he doesn't mention it here. I just thought I'd give you an understanding, because nowadays, you have these moon wars that people fight over which day is Ramadan, etc. Okay, and that's it basically. That's today's lesson. I hope that lesson was clear. Let's check out the questions then. Alright, so going back to the questions that we asked in the beginning. So first of all, what is a fast? Right? What is a wajib fast? Give an example. When is the last point that you can intend a qada fast? Can you make an intention for nafal in the morning at 9 a.m.? When should people go to see the crescent? What date? And what time? If a person alone sees the crescent, they don't see the crescent. If they don't see the crescent, what do they do the next day? Do they consider Ramadan or not? If a person alone sees the crescent in the sky, what does the judge do? Okay, so have a go at that. Put in the comments as well. Jazakallah khair for watching this entire video. I know it's quite long. But let me know what you think of the duration of these videos as well. If you guys enjoy them, if there's any questions that you have as well that you think maybe I should touch on this issue or that issue, or maybe there's something I should add in these videos, please put them in the comments. Thank you to all my patrons for all the support that you guys show, all the love you guys show my channel. Alhamdulillah, it's something that's really motivational to me, helps me get out of bed in the morning. And if any of you guys want to become supporters of my channel, if you guys want to sponsor my channel, support my videos that I make, and ultimately this is something which all of us can share in the rewards of this the work that I'm doing. Then check out the description below. Any amount that you support for the channel, even if it's like £1 a month that you give, it's something which is going to help my channel definitely 100%. Really appreciate it. So Jazakumullah khair. Thank you very much, guys. Share the videos with others that you think would benefit from these, and I will see you guys next time. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu.